you can go, well, it so happens. But the people who were involved with it were really great, like David Gill, who's a Philip K. Dick scholar. At the Philip K. Dick conference last year, he gave a walking tour of Berkeley, and he just did that last week for the second time only, of everywhere Philip K. Dick lived and worked, and many of which the places are in the novel and in the movie, although we did not shoot in Berkeley, unfortunately. It's really a pleasure to be here. First screening we had of the movie, public screening, was at Sedona at the film festival there a couple of years ago when it was a work in progress. This movie has been a real indie labor of love. It's the kind of movie that Hollywood and the independent companies don't think you want to see anymore, which is a thoughtful science fiction film, more like Orwell's 1984 or Huxley's Brave New World than like Prometheus or or which?
Oblivion.
Or Oblivion, or the big spectacles, what when I was a kid we used to call space opera, which Star Wars, which was lovely, started the transition towards as the only kind of science fiction. So none of the producers, who are very experienced, including myself, took any kind of salary on the movie. We put the rights to the book, behind our investor. We had one private investor who was crazy enough to give us the money to make this on a very modest level, but I think we made up for in passion and imagination. We made the movie I wanted to make. I wouldn't have made it for more money. The right actors found their way to it. I shot a big studio movie in Arizona called The Getaway with Roger Donaldson directing. Oh, thank you. And Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. And the thing about making a studio movie is that, spending $30 million, people kind of expect to get it back. They're silly that way. Those foolish people. And therefore, you're always being second guessed as to what you want to do. That was from a novel by a great pulp writer called Jim Thompson, who also wrote The Grifters and After Dark, My Sweet. And when I was studying literature, I gravitated towards novelists like Jim Thompson and Philip K. Dick and Charles Bukowski, who had a vision of what they wanted to say that might not be for everyone, but was really intense and strong. And I'm so glad you guys are here. You're the kind of audience we made it for. You keep this kind of cinema alive. And we did succeed in our Kickstarter goal. We were invited to screen at Lincoln Center in June as part of their prestigious Indie Night series. And we're going to be playing in 15 cities theatrically. And we could still use your help and support. One of our Kickstarter backers became an associate producer on the movie, Jeffrey Notkin, and it's thanks to him we're here tonight. Jeffrey, please stand up. And when you get involved with a movie like this, we put you to work, as Jeffrey will tell you, and there's room for lots of people. One of the things we did was develop a role-playing game in conjunction with the Kickstarter called God, I'm tired, I'm sorry, called Radio Free Left Coast. And we're going to be having live events in every city we do in conjunction with it, and panel discussions. Those of you who know Philip K. Dick's work may know that in 1974, he had a 2-month-long series of visions and hearing voices from what he believed was an ancient extraterrestrial intelligence. And this preoccupied him for the last 10 years of his life. He had a stroke right before Blade Runner was finished. But right up until then, he was writing this 1,000,000-word journal called The Exegesis, a large portion of which was published last year. And Radio Free Albumeth was his first attempt to deal with this experience in science fiction. He then wrote Valis and 2 other novels that kind of deal with these spiritual themes. And for me, Radio Free Albumeth is his best science fiction version of those themes. For Philip K. Dick, the themes were what is real and what is human, and it's why it speaks to us, long after he's gone. This was something written in 1974, though not published till 1985, and it seems ripped from the headlines with the NSA and the as you'll see, some of the themes of the movie. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to stick around for a Q&A. I won't talk this much. I'll let you ask questions. And thank you all for coming.